Chicago rapper Lil Durk.
Lil Durk
Targeted a rival rapper.
did a murder-for-hire plot back in 2022.
Is in the hospital tonight after being attacked in federal prison.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to hear is a story of rise and fall. A story that unfolds not on stage or in music videos, but behind cold steel bars, under the unforgiving glare of justice. Lil Durk, born Derek Banks, once ruled the streets of Chicago and the global rap scene with his powerful voice and undeniable charisma. But now, Lil Durk finds himself at the heart of a courtroom storm, facing life-altering charges that threaten to end everything he's built.
OTF Jams reportedly stabbed in a jail that he in twice. We ain't gotta ask why he was stabbed. We could just assume that he got stabbed because he testifying or working against Mustafa and the OTF members. He could have got stabbed because they was on the yard, dice game, somebody mad or anything. And then a lot of people think because a person in protective custody or they move you to a different county that you can't get touched. Man, there's killers everywhere, even in PC.
The date, May 31st, 2025. The moment Lil Durk's freedom was stripped away by federal agents who handed down a superseding indictment. This document, heavy with accusations, links Lil Durk to a deadly murder-for-hire plot targeting a rival, rapper's crew. The streets had heard rumors, but now the federal government's case brings those whispers into the glaring light of the courtroom.
Durk was the only one alive, the last one standing. So if you look at the history, there was a case where Duck and Vonda got arrested for shooting the guy in Atlanta. They was able to put that all on Von because he died. We fast forward now to this situation. Previously, if you look at the history, D-Thing would have been the person, allegedly, who would have coordinated this.
Prosecutors are painting a damning portrait of a man who allegedly orchestrated violence with cold precision. Their evidence? Phone calls intercepted by the FBI, coded conversations that prosecutors say explicitly discuss greenlighting, a hit. Surveillance footage tracking Lil Durk's associates moving methodically across state lines to carry out a violent agenda. And, in a twist that shocks even the most hardened observers, rap lyrics pulled straight from his albums, portrayed as confessions woven into his music.
He's gone. According to court documents, Durk says, "Don't book nothing associated to me." We watching history repeat itself because those rental car transactions is what got Young Thug indicted. The same thing is happening with Durk now.
As the courtroom watches in tense silence, Lil Durk sits in the defendant's chair, a far cry from the lavish life he once led. No more private jets or luxury homes, only the harsh fluorescent lighting and the clang of metal doors at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Los Angeles. Here, the environment is unforgiving. Overcrowding, violence, and corruption run rampant, turning every day into a battle for survival. Life behind bars is no ordinary sentence for a man used to commanding respect and control. Inside MDC, the prison culture is volatile. Drug lords and gang leaders mix with violent offenders and high-profile inmates. The fragile peace can shatter in an instant, and every conversation is a gamble. Trust is a luxury few can afford.
Let's see what we have today. Chicken tenders, macaroni, collard green, red sauce, cornbread. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Peace and love, y'all. Y'all have a good day.
Adding to the danger, several prison guards have been indicted for smuggling weapons, drugs, and cell phones in exchange for bribes, making the jail a tinderbox ready to explode. In this world, Lil Durk is more than just a prisoner. He's a potential target. In an attempt to secure his freedom before trial, Lil Durk's lawyers offered a $3 million bail package. But the judge saw through the offer and slammed the gavel down. Significant flight risk, the judge declared, denying bail and effectively sealing Lil Durk's fate behind bars. This ruling was more than just a denial, it was a clear message that the court views him as a danger to public safety and a risk to flee justice.
Lil Durk reportedly breaks his silence from behind bars following his transfer to a California prison. Lil Durk has broken his silence from behind bars, sharing words of reassurance in an alleged jail call. In an alleged audio shared by one of Durk's associates on Instagram, the Chicago rapper sounded upbeat, saying his spirits are high and denying he's in protective custody. Just got off the phone with my brother Lil Durk. He in good spirits, staying positive and fighting to get back home to his kids and family. The associate, a reportedly known affiliate of Durk's OTF label, praised the rapper as a man of honor, urging fans to rally behind him with hashtags like #FreeSmirk. Facing life in prison on charges of conspiracy and murder for...
Inside the prison walls, the struggle is constant. The isolation gnaws at the mind, while limited contact with the outside world fuels anxiety and despair. Lil Durk, accustomed to freedom and influence, is now stripped of everything, forced to navigate a dangerous maze where loyalty is fragile and betrayal lurks around every corner. In a leaked phone call recorded inside the prison, Lil Durk's voice echoes with a fragile optimism. "I'm fighting to get back to my family," he says, trying to hold on to hope. But behind that voice lies the crushing weight of uncertainty, a trial that could sentence him to life without parole, the shadow of betrayal from those once closest to him, and the suffocating reality of prison life.
Lil Durk is facing life in prison. Yeah, the rapper got arrested for the involvement of many murders. But the craziest part is, he slid for Vaughn so much that he actually knew he was getting arrested. Like in this song Redman, where he admitted being locked up in the near future.
They ask me where I'ma be in 10 years, shit, I say the feds.
That's not the only time this happened, because he wrote in a song that his homie would snitch on him that would then get him locked up, which actually happened.
When trial come, it ain't your phone and be your homie though. He understand with his head down like he don't know me though. It ain't no point in getting no lawyer if your homie...
One of the most stunning twists in this saga involves Jam, a longtime member of Lil Durk's OTF collective. After serving over a decade for attempted murder, Jam's release was supposed to signal a new beginning. But federal prosecutors claim Jam turned informant, wearing a wire and feeding authorities critical information that directly implicates Lil Durk in orchestrating the deadly attacks. If true, this betrayal could shatter the defense and put Lil Durk's future in even graver jeopardy. The indictment reveals a criminal network with over 25 overt acts, each a deliberate step in a murder-for-hire conspiracy. Prosecutors argue Lil Durk's OTF is not just a music label, but a sophisticated street gang engaged in murder, assault, and racketeering, using encrypted apps, stolen credit cards, and coordinated travel to execute their plans.
Durk has been locked up in Broward County Jail. Oh my God, bro. He's locked up. Oh.
Durk, whose real name is Durk Devontae Banks, has been arrested, accused in a for-hire plot near the Beverly Center.
Durky, yo. that was crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the prosecutor said, voice sharp and unwavering. This case is not about music or fame. It is about a calculated web of violence. The defendant used his platform and resources to orchestrate death. His influence is deadly, and the evidence is irrefutable. But the defense is not silent. Lil Durk's attorneys argue that much of the evidence is circumstantial or taken out of context. They claim the lyrics are art, not confessions, and that the government's witnesses are motivated by self-interest. They paint Durk as a victim of a system eager to criminalize rap culture rather than an actual mastermind of violence. As the trial proceeds, the stakes rise higher. Each witness takes the stand, some breaking down emotionally as they recount moments of loyalty turned to betrayal. The courtroom is thick with suspense. Every word, every tear, every pause holds the power to sway the jury.
Christmas tree. And last year I was broker than ever. Only thing up on my mind was going focus on chatting. And my thoughts of being down and feeling hopeless as ever. Me and my bars saying now and now doper than ever.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought you were weak as hell. He did that too.
It does. It does. I appreciate it.
It's long, man. Go ahead and say it.
Pitch Jazz. THEKIDJAZZ. Alright, Jazz.
The threat of life imprisonment hangs over Lil Durk like a storm cloud. His future, his family, and his entire legacy are on the line. Outside the courtroom, loved ones wait with bated breath. Supporters rally for free Lil Durk, while critics demand justice. The divide is stark, a reflection of the complex man at the center of this battle. This is not just a story of a rapper and the law. It's a story of power, loyalty, betrayal, and survival. A man who rose to fame now fights to keep his freedom and prove his innocence. But in the shadows of justice, where every secret has a price, the question remains, will Lil Durk prevail, or will the weight of the charges crush him forever? Stay with us as we follow this high-stakes trial, bringing you every twist, every revelation, and every heartbeat of this courtroom drama. Because in this story, every detail matters, and every moment could change everything.
Grammy Award-winning Chicago rapper Lil Durk is facing new charges in a murder-for-hire plot.
I decided I had to finish, but the media called me a menace.
Lil Durk, whose real name is Durk Banks, is facing 2 additional felony charges, including conspiracy. He's accused of conspiring with others to murder a rival rapper in Los Angeles in 2022, but the shooters missed their intended target and killed someone else. 5 other people are also facing charges, 4 of whom are from the Chicago area.
The courtroom doors creaked open, and all eyes turned to the defendant. Lil Durk, once a titan of the rap world, now standing vulnerable under the unforgiving courtroom lights. The atmosphere was thick with tension, every heartbeat echoing in. The silent room. Prosecutors rose, ready to dismantle his legacy piece by piece, armed with damning evidence that painted a chilling picture. The prosecution unveiled intercepted phone calls, conversations dripping with coded language that prosecutors claimed were orders for murder. One by one, the walls closed in tighter as surveillance videos displayed Durk's affiliates moving stealthily, crossing state lines to execute a deadly plan. The courtroom gasped as prosecutors played snippets of Lil Durk's own lyrics. Lyrics that, according to the government, were more than music. They were confessions. As witnesses were called to the stand, the emotional intensity soared. Some spoke with heavy hearts, recalling moments of brotherhood and loyalty shattered by betrayal. A longtime associate, voice trembling, revealed how trust eroded under pressure and how fear whispered through the ranks of OTF. The prosecution hammered home the point. This wasn't just a case of street violence, it was a well-organized conspiracy with Lil Durk at the helm.
Chicago rapper Lil Durk faces 3 new federal charges in connection to a deadly shooting in Los Angeles in August of 2022. The Grammy Award-winning rapper, whose legal name is Durk Banks, is charged along with 5 alleged co-conspirators in a murder-for-hire plot. Prosecutors say he masterminded a plot to kill Chicago rapper Quando Rondo at a Los Angeles gas station, but Rondo's cousin was killed instead. According to the FBI, the hit was in retaliation for the murder of another Chicago rapper, King Von, in 2020. Lil Durk remains in federal custody in Miami, where he was arrested last month.
The defense countered fiercely. Lil Durk's lawyers argued that lyrics are a form of artistic expression, not admissions of guilt. They painted a picture of a man unfairly targeted because of his fame and association with the streets. A man trying to survive in a system that misunderstands the culture and context of his life and music. Tensions in the courtroom were mirrored outside. Fans gathered, their chants of "Free Lil Durk" echoing like a rallying cry against what they perceived as injustice. Meanwhile, critics demanded accountability, unwilling to separate the artist from the accusations. The media frenzy reached a fever pitch, turning every court session into a spectacle watched by millions. Behind the scenes, Lil Durk faced the harsh realities of incarceration. The stark transition.
Covering some other news that has just come to our attention. This is according to the FBI. I want to pull up a tweet that we have as well. So Grammy award-winning Chicago rapper Lil Durk has been charged in a superseding indictment alleging murder-for-hire plot to kill a rival near the Beverly Center shopping mall in Los Angeles in August of 2022. So, of course, we do know that Lil Durk has been behind bars, I should say, for some time now. This is all having to do with he's accused of hiring to kill rival rapper Quando Rondo. This is, again, back in August of 2022. So to bring in now to have just a bit more conversation about this alleged murder for hire plot, let's bring in Megan Cuniff. She is our legal affairs journalist.
From luxury to lockdown was a brutal reminder of what was at stake. Days blurred in the dim light of the detention center, each moment shadowed by the uncertainty of the trial's outcome. Yet, amidst the turmoil, Durk's voice remained steady in rare prison phone calls, words of hope, determination, and a fierce resolve to fight for his freedom. But the walls closed in, and whispers of informants and betrayals cast long shadows over his defense. The revelation that a former trusted member, Jam, may have turned state's witness sent shockwaves through the case, threatening to unravel everything. Every piece of evidence, every testimony, every secret uncovered was a move in a high-stakes chess game where one wrong step could cost Lil Durk everything.